We're getting ready to get one going. Let's get the other one going here. All right, I think I got you two headed up that way. Yeah, I'm live, YouTube. All right, rocking. Should everything good? And we're live on Facebook, so kind of both streaming. So welcome everybody. Darren Hall's in the house. What's happening, Darren? Joanne Roberts. What's happening, Joanne? Dustin Easter. Welcome. We'll just hang tight here for a little bit and let everybody get checked in, then we'll get to rolling. Hello, Darren. Stephen Smith. Joel Farrow. Katie Winters. Good evening, everybody. We'll keep popping over and check on YouTube. Make sure my buddy Brandon, if he checks in, I want to be sure and comment on his stuff. So I'll peek over on YouTube every now and then since I am going both places. Heather Lawfer, welcome, Heather. I think this may be Heather's first check-in, so welcome to the show. Hope you hang around and we'll talk some gravel, which I know you dig, and we'll talk some mountain biking, which I'm not sure is your thing, but hopefully you'll enjoy. Mike Abernathy, what's happening, Mike? Oh, I need to refresh my little drink here. Can't go wrong with the Screwball. We're a little low. I'm a little low. Isn't that right, Amy? She'll know. Oh, yeah. Hey, somebody sent me a link, and I guess they do there's some kind of group that does some whiskey testing and all that, and I guess Screwball just won some kind of award. So Uncle Home was early to the crowd. We were drinking this before. It was cool. And I am drinking it in one of my favorite Bart Simpson shot glass mugs. So, oh yeah, good stuff. Zachary Hood joined, Brian Alvey, Daniel Lemons, and Mr. Stephen Cordes himself. Stephen Cordes was he was in fine form at St. Crispin's, and I have to admit I talked to a few people that didn't know your background, Steve, and you got shock, awe, and kudos all in the same time for your awesome heckling at the end of the St. Crispin's race. Most of us are used to it, but I got a really good kick out of talking to a handful of people that had no clue. And so thumbs up, you're back at your old self and heckling like a madman. Quick wit, sharp humor, good stuff. Love it. Brian Albee, howdy, how you doing? Bryce Bell joined. What's happening, Bryce Bell? Bryce Bell, your girls should be getting a little old now. They should be getting old enough for you to start getting back out on the bike again. Looking forward to seeing you on the trail in these days. Paul McGinnis Kelly, what's happening? Hannah Bagaski's in the house. GT Giorgito, Colin Tani. Welcome, Colin. Haven't talked to you in a while. Good to hey, and hi back at you, Colin. Good to see you. Actually, good to talk to you. I need to come see you. I haven't seen you in forever. Definitely need to come visit. Richie Beans in the house. What's happening, Richie? Speaking of Richie and Beans and Amy Bean, his wife, our Kids Cup director. I think she got the link to the standings posted on the Kids Cup webpage, and I did get the Kids Cup standings updated today. So, and Brian Tremblay got our webpage link corrected and ready. So, for all of you with Kids Cup stuff and you're curious where your kids are doing so far with 2 races under their belt, we have the series standings updated. So, go check them out. One thing I need to do. I'm glad that beeped. Okay, I'll be right back. So it shouldn't take me but a second here. Give me just a second. I'm going to share this. I forget. I keep wanting to share this on my page. So I did actually do this correctly tonight. I didn't do it correctly last week. I knew last week was weird, and I don't know how it affected you guys. It didn't seem to really affect anybody, but there we go. I got that shared, so I'm good to go. I accidentally, so I always start this feed. Here, I need to scoot this over. It's like right in front of my t-shirt, my face here. So I started my feed. I normally start it from the Tour de Dirt page because, I mean, this is really kind of Tour de Dirt based. And then I like to share it to my personal page so that then people that are friends with me can see it. And then people that are Tour de Dirt, which are most of you guys, can see it. And I guess last week I accidentally started it from my own personal page. And then I kept trying to share it to my personal page, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't showing up in the Tour de Dirt feed. But then I had to go on with the show. And I didn't realize until after the fact the reason it wasn't showing up is because it wasn't there, because I was going live from my feed. I also went live from Facebook. But I guess since so many of you guys are already friends of mine that it didn't matter, because then you could just see it because you're friends of mine. So I don't know. I posted the link on Tour de Dirt. But anyway, we're back to normal today. So I just shared it to my page so that my friends can see it. That's why I couldn't figure out last week why all my school teachers that I work with were checking in and they've never checked in before. And that was because I never started from my personal page. I always started from the Tour de Dirt page. So it doesn't pop up in their feed. Good stuff. So I don't know how I sound to all you guys, but I'm a little stopped up. Picked a hell of a week to come down with a cold. Late Sunday, I got this scratchy stuff and started getting stopped up. And I've done nothing but really sleep the last 2 days. Haven't felt really terrible, and I've got a little bit of a cough that you guys will see tonight. And a little stopped up, but so far I don't think anything's going to really collect. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm going to go to bed as soon as the show's over tonight and sleep another full solid night, and hopefully I'll be good. I'm probably going to cut my training pretty much off. I haven't done anything. I didn't do anything Sunday, yesterday, and I didn't do anything today. So I'm probably just going to stop my training until I get better and just hope for the best for Land Run, which we'll talk about later. So let's see. I missed a bunch of people here. Trip Harrison's joined. What's happening, Trip? Yo. Scott Taylor, what's happening, Scott? Scott and I have been chatting, so Scott's fixing to get him a new bike, and he's fixing to join this crazy crew of cyclists, so I'm looking forward to that. Lloyd Graham, hey, good to see you this weekend. It's been a while, so hope you had a good race. I guess we didn't really chat afterwards, so but it was a crazy race out at Kansas, so we'll talk more about that in a bit. Brian McGinnis is in the house. Kevin Wagner joined. Matt Smith, good to see you this weekend as well, Matt Smith. So awesome. Hannah Bagaski says that's a tiny ass mug. It is a tiny mug, but it's like, it's a Homer mug though. So it's like a mug / shot glass. I don't, so it's like a really big shot glass. So you have to be careful. So I kind of sip out of it. Don't. Sorry, I had to go there. Alrighty. Nobody's checked in over on YouTube. I'm checking back on my YouTube to make sure nobody's commented. So, yeah, Brian, that's probably what it does sound like. I don't know. I don't know what it sounds like to you guys, but in my head, my voice sounds totally jacked up. My voice sounds really deep. So at least I can still talk. So, I mean, that's good. I haven't gotten to that point where I've lost my voice. Hopefully that won't happen mid-show tonight. So Bill Hannigan joined. What's happening, Bill? All righty, let's go ahead and get going. I've been doing check-in. I'll keep doing check-ins as you guys pop in. And again, like usual, if you guys have questions or comments, please feel free to jump in there and throw them out, and I'll try to get to them. I will also continue on and just, I don't know, we'll just kind of keep engaging as we go. So. All right. Herb Brown joined. What's happening, Herb? What's up? All right, move my notes. So let's go ahead and do the topic list tonight. So topic list, pretty straightforward. We'll talk about the novice fees. Got some good notification today that I've talked about this before, and I've not had any new updates on it for some time, just because USAC has not been able to get it done electronically, even though they made the announcement many weeks ago. Looks like possibly that has happened. So I do want to talk about that. Upcoming events, still the same as last week. Obviously, checked one off the list, and we've got more to come. Talk Rage Against the Chainring, an event that I did this weekend along with one of my teammates, Marty Coleman, and we do several down there. A handful of us do. And then I want to talk Mid-South. That's going to be our big topic, talking Mid-South tonight. So I think that's the big chatter point right now. And everybody's looking forward to it. Everybody's talking about it. That's kind of the one thing on everybody's mind. So we'll talk about that. And then I'll briefly mention some remote sites that I'll be at that I've mentioned in my previous ones. But I just want to keep reminding you because they will be upcoming. No, Brian, I'm not drinking Corona, nor do I have it. So, quite certain it's just a head cold like I get this time every year. So, I doubt I'll be patient zero in Oklahoma. So, and I am going to work tomorrow, so don't sue me. What's up, Bill? Bill Hannigan says, "What's up, guys?" Carolyn Fairless joined. Ryan Superfly Palumbo, what's happening? Brandon Nesbitt, Nick Blades join. Where are you, Nick? I saw you talking about something like you were flying in and building bikes, and I don't know what was going on there. I didn't know you were gone, or maybe I just misread that. Brian McGinnis, we are not. So, unless bigger organizations step in and force our hands. So far that has not happened. Brian McGinnis says, "Are we going to let pandemic affect the upcoming events?" And the answer is no. I'm still traveling all over Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas to go race my bike. And that's the plan. Joey Tamez, it is affecting us though. Don't get me wrong. It's just kind of not directly, it's indirectly. So, just like I had a talk with somebody a couple weeks ago. They're waiting on a kit. They couldn't get their kit because the plant that makes the kit is overseas. The plant's shut down because of the coronavirus, so they can't get their kit. I was talking to Stephen Cordis earlier, and he was struggling to get some tires from, for Kai, Kai's Maxxis Orange Seal sponsor, because the plants that make the tires are all overseas and they're all shut down. So supply is a little bit limited for all this stuff that's being imported. But so indirectly, but we're still racing bikes. Bill Hannigan says he thinks he'd have an easier time recovering from coronavirus than he did from Crispin's. It was tough, wasn't it? It was for sure tough. And you raced down, so you did the 3 laps, brother. That's rocking. Now you know where we've been feeling for a while. Nick says 2 other guys doing the double with him. I got you. Doing some training. I got you. You've been at the airport picking people up. I got you. Brandon Nesbitt says, "What's up, Wizard?" Back at you, Brandon. What's up, Brandon? Howdy, Joey Tamaz. And Pickle join. What's happening, Mike Pickle? Chris Rogers and Josh Sears, not Shears, Sears. So welcome, Chris. I haven't seen you in a while. Every time I look around, you're traveling and working somewheres. So glad that maybe you're back. I don't know where you're at right now. Josh Sears is in the house. I saw Josh this weekend. We'll talk more about him and Apostle and Rage Against Chainring and Cheney, Kansas, and that stuff here in Jiffy. So Ryan Palma says it's affecting some of his operations at work. I don't know what Ryan does for a living, but I suspect it's affecting a lot of people, honestly, because so many of the things that we do are impacted by overseas things and things in some of the other metropolitan areas within even in the continental United States. Jason Inglekey said it. Says Chris Rogers in the house. Back at you, Jason. Jason, when are you going to come ride bikes, man? I know you built this new house and all that, but we haven't seen you forever. You need to come race and ride bikes with us. David Copeland joined. What's happening, David? That's upcoming events. I've already done that. I finished that and then got off topic. So let's jump back up and let's talk about novice fees. Topic number 1. Yeah, you guys got 2 in the house, but you guys, Jason says off camber finally showing up. Well, Jason, you guys have been leaving Steven Treaster hanging, man. Steven's been at the last 2 races. So, and he was wondering where all of his off camber teammates are at. So you guys need to come show him some love when next time you see him. So so more talk about overseas stuff, and yeah. So I'm gonna let you guys chat that up. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on talking about bike stuff, something I actually know something about. I don't know shit about this other stuff. So novice fees. So we've been talking about this for a while, and I've been promising you guys this, and it's like, and I feel like an idiot because then I promise these things because USAC makes an announcement, and then it's like it doesn't happen, and then finally, a lot of you guys just gave up. Some of you guys have still been doing 1 days. A lot of you guys just finally just gave it up and like, screw it. I'm paying, like, my teammate Colton, he's like, screw it. I'm just paying $80. I'm tired of waiting on a license. I'm going to race all year. Good news. And I posted it I just shared the post because I didn't want to have to retype it. My friends from Arkansas, AMBCS, that's the Arkansas Mountain Bike Championship Series. That's their race series. That's their Tour de Dirt. That's their cross country race series. They made a post about this, and I didn't see any reason for me to retype it. I just shared it since they already posted it. And basically, it looks like that they finally have. Here, I need to get this link. I didn't copy this link into there. I've got it already linked up. Let me shoot it out here right now. I should have put it in my heading, but I didn't. I'm sorry. So it's going to be lost a little bit. I just posted it. So here is a link to the membership, USA Cycling. And they do have the novice fee structure set. The whole point was that they're changing Cat 3. This is for mountain bike, it's Cat 3. For cross and for road, that's the Cat 5. That's their novice category. Changing the phrasing so that it's no longer Cat 5 or Cat 3. It's now going to become novice, which is really what it is. It's a novice category. It's the beginning category. So I think that's a good move. But then they've been promising these lower fees for the novices, but yet their website has not reflected that. So what they're doing is now you can go get your license and it will be $40. And I still believe there is a $60 family membership if you have children that are also novices and you are a novice. Most of our families don't fit in that because most of the families, the kids are probably still in the novice range, but the parents are probably not. So, but there may be a few that fit that, but for sure, definitely you're going to fit the $40 license, which is the same as a junior license. Now, on top of that, what I did read, and I haven't verified this, but I see no reason why it would be incorrect or wrong because of just the source that it came from. I trust them. If you paid your $80 this year and you are a novice, they will give you a 2-year license. So they will extend that into next year. So since you've already paid and you paid $80 instead of the $40, they'll just give you a 2-year license. There's a mechanism for that. It's posted. You have to contact USAC. I can give you the email address. Our contact is Stephanie Sexton. She's been our regional USAC rep for many, many years. In fact, honestly, I don't remember. Since I've been dealing with this over the last 5-6 years, I don't remember contacting anybody else. So, but I can give you that information. I don't want to do that publicly. I'll do that privately if you're interested. I would recommend that even if you are a novice and you're not sure if you'll be a novice next year, I would definitely say go ahead, and you've already paid your $80. Do this. Go ahead and get your 2-year license, because what will happen is next year, if you need to upgrade, there'll be a mechanism for charging you the difference. So you could pay an extra $40 next year and then get an upgrade to a Cat 2. And so you'll be fine. I'm sure there's going to be some glitches with this, as there always is, but I mean, it's a good deal, and it looks like finally it's live. So if you're a novice, go out there and get that license. One-day licenses are $40. So you do 4 races all year long that are USAC sponsored, and you've broke even and saved yourself a lot of time, forms to fill out. I honestly haven't filled out a one-day license in, I don't know, probably 18 years, 19 years. I don't know. I've had a license for 19 or 20 years, I think, and I just renew it every year. So, I mean, I do enough races that it doesn't matter. Sorry, that it doesn't matter. But I mean, a lot of you guys don't, and I understand that. But nonetheless, it's just so much easier. So, Colin Tani says legging beer and watching Corey. What could be better? So legging beer. So what? Oh, so Colin's probably brewing some beer. So he's probably doing some beer work. Amy Clark, hi, back at you. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. So Ryan Paloma says University of Tulsa is online classes only until April 6th as of today due to students' possible exposure from somewhere else, non school. Hey, you know what? I mean, Ryan, as crazy as it sounds, this shit's getting real. I still am not sure. I'm not gonna say I still think a lot of it's scare tactics. But I don't know enough medically to back that up. So, I mean, I really can't say much, but I do know that that's a very big reality. I know that all public schools in Oklahoma right now are having that discussion. I'm an IT guy, and I'm involved in that discussion in my school. And the discussion is, what if? What if we had to cancel school? What if we had to send everybody home and we still had to have school? How could we do that electronically? And it's much easier for universities because most of the universities are already set up to do stuff online as support mechanisms for most of their classes. But at the high school level, middle school level, and then most assuredly at the elementary school level, we're really not prepared to do that, both from a teaching standpoint and from, I mean, really, come on, how are you going to teach elementary school online? I mean, there's some possibilities with homeschooling and parents, but the reality of it is it's very difficult. So, but as you said, it's becoming very real now. And so before we've said, yeah, I know we have those, you know, I know we can do these things, but how do we do them? And now the point is coming like, well, damn, we better get a little further than that. We need to be prepared for what if it really does happen. Can we do this? And from an IT standpoint, from a training standpoint, to my teachers, that's a big ask. So, but it's something that I'm pursuing and I'm looking at right now as well too. So, and I'm sure every school in our state is, as well as other states. So, I just saw a post from a local here in Hobart. She's a graduate from Hobart. She's currently teaching in California. That's where her and her husband live. And they posted a picture from their porch while they were hanging out because school's dismissed indefinitely there for the very same reason. So it's real. I don't know. I mean, the effects are real. I don't know if the threat is real. Again, I don't have the knowledge nor the science background to back that up, but is what it is. So, and welcome Amy, who joined again. So probably had some trouble with her phone and she's back. All right. So, all right, we got off topic, but hey, it's all good. Novices, go out and get that license. If you're a novice and you're having trouble or you have questions, just connect with me. I'll figure it out for you. Connect with me privately. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on, I don't know, wherever. I'm not that hard to find. So just find me and I'll put you in touch with the right people and we'll get you fixed up one way or the other. So. All right. Upcoming events. I'm going to do those real quick. I'm going to knock those out, and then I'm going to talk about this weekend because I had a good time this weekend. I want to talk a little bit more about it. Upcoming events: March 14th, Mid-South. We'll talk all Mid-South in a minute. I think we all know that's coming. Very next weekend, March 22nd, Sooner Stampede, Lake Thunderbird team warm up. Tour de Dirt, cross country. It's going to be good times. New course, same course this year, 6.5 miles, a little bit of climbing. Good stuff, fun course. And we're going to do a live. We're going to do a lot of information from them from a remote site later in the month. March 28th, following up, No Rest for the Weary, OC, Ouachita Challenge. Many of us are in Oklahoma, go up and do that event. We've been doing it for many years. So 60 miles in the Ouachitas and the Womble. We'll see what the weather plays out. I haven't even looked that far ahead. I can't get past this weekend. But it's a great event. Looking forward to it. And we'll be knocking that out of the park. That leads me to April 5th. Fool's Dozen. So again, just back to back for me. So I can't remember where I'm at, honestly. I think I'm 3 in, starting with Steed, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go 4, 5, 6, 7 with Fool's Dozen. So I think I do 10 in a row. First weekend of May is my first weekend off. So, and then I stand a chance. I'm contemplating a double up on the 22nd for Sooner Stampede. So I'm contemplating the 21st. So I got to talk to some people. Got to talk to Amy about a ride, and that's going to be a tough double. So we'll see. I can't afford to drive that one. I'm going to have some rest. So we'll see what happens. Jason Wharton joined. What's happening, Jason? I'll go some more of that here in a second. So yeah, so that's the schedule. I mean, there's a lot more after that, but like I said, my schedule just keeps going. It keeps going. But I'm going to get 3 weekends off in May, so I'm totally stoked about that. But that's the first. I don't get a break until May. So, Rage Against the Chain Ring. Hence my shirt. I got a shirt. I got registered early, so I got a shirt this year. So I'm stoked. You guys have heard me talk about this. This is a 4-race series that they've done for a few years. I'm not even sure how many. I mean, this is definitely the second, but I think it's probably the fourth, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, it just really came on my radar last year. So I apologize for not really knowing the history here. I typically do a little better job of that. But this is really the second year that's been on my radar. It just briefly popped up into an open spot last year. And for me, I also had, we have a lot of Kansas guys that come up and do mountain biking. And so we have this camaraderie that we're always talking back and forth, and they really try to do what they can to come support our events. And then, they tell me about all these cool events that they're doing. And so it's like, I feel like I need to come support theirs as well. And we won off one of these events last year, and it was just a great time. So kudos to the promoters, John Sears, who checked in earlier, Mark Morner, Apostle Bike Works. I'm sure there's more people behind the scenes, but I'm just not as familiar with everybody, so I can't just throw out names like I usually do. But that's the main crew and the main supporting sponsor. And they do this 4-race series around the Wichita, Kansas area, and they've done it for several years. And they pick these different venues, and the format's a little unique, which is also interesting. And the format is that it's a 50-ish mile ride, between 50 and 60 miles. It just kind of depends on the terrain. And the idea is that you do 2 laps. So it's going to be a 25, 26, 27 mile loop, and you do that twice, and that's the race. So that makes it very unique in that you're doing a loop structure for a gravel race. At least it is for most of us. Now, I think they do that some more often in Kansas than not. But anyway, it's a great event. And so I'd already planned on I've already got plans on doing 2 of the Rage Against Chain Ring events, and I'm contemplating sneaking in a third if I could. Man, it's going to be a really, really tough double for me, but but I may very well do that on the 21st and 22nd of March coming up. I mean, honestly, I can do it because I'm on spring break next week. Actually, my spring break starts this week, and I'm going to be on spring break next week. So I can do it. I mean, logistically, I can make that happen. I can get up there and chill. I can make that race. But man, the hard part is I really need to get someone to go with me because I don't really want to have to drive all the way back to Oklahoma and then turn around and have to race the next day. So I don't know. Play that beer. But anyway, this race was great. Cheney, Kansas, Cheney Lake. I've never been there. It's a really big lake. I was quite surprised. I didn't even know it existed. I've never been there. I car camped. I was the only one there that night. I think there was a couple people in RVs, but the RV place was a little bit different. I just parked in the parking lot and slept in my car. Pretty much the only activity was we had like 2 fishermen roll in at like 6:30. That was before the time change. And then they roll out and go fish, and they fished at night, and they didn't roll back out until like 9:30. So I talked to someone later, and I guess there's a big catfish population. So they go out there and do a lot of night catfishing. So it was pretty cool. I didn't go talk to him because I was chilling and trying to sleep, but fun times. Got up the next day. We knew that the wind was going to be howling. I mean, the forecast is there, and Cheney is known for having crazy winds, no wind block, very flat, open area. Word was 25-mile-an-hour wind, and then leading up to it, there was talk that it wouldn't be quite as bad, and then legit, I'm sitting there talking to the guy in the car next to me, and his phone beeps, and he said, "Oh, crap, it's a wind advisory." And so, by the time we started the race, it was 25 mile an hour easy. And, but when the race starts, you're in a pack and you're in a group and you can still race. Now, granted, they started all the single speeders together, so it was just single speeders. They did that so that we wouldn't race with the other groups and that we wouldn't draft off the gear guys, that we would be isolated and be working just among ourselves. And we did that for the first lap. And the wind was hard, but it was not horrendous. And I mean, 25 mile an hour probably was what it was. But we were still in a group. We did have to mingle in with some gear guys, but we finally forced our way to the front and stayed within our single speed group. And we forced the gear guys to draft off of us because we were trying to stay true to the etiquette of only drafting off other single speeders. And mostly we did that. Sometimes we couldn't help it. And then at the end of the race, I think a lot of people just trying to survive didn't. But so we survived the first lap, and then we rolled through. And, as many of you guys know, you can't really attack into a headwind. It just doesn't work. You attack into a headwind, and basically they just draft you, and you do all the work and die, and then they pass you, and you're done. So I didn't really want to wait. It was a long, long way to get to that the last headwind section was only 7 miles. And I say only 7 miles. That was the longest 7 miles of my entire life. So you're talking a 27-mile loop, I think, 27-ish mile loop, maybe a little longer, maybe 28, so maybe 28-mile loop. 7 miles of that at the end was straight headwind. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but it was a huge deal. So I didn't want to wait till that. I didn't want to wait till then and then try to figure something out. And so I was like, the only place you can attack is in a tailwind, because then it's mano a mano, because there's no draft involved. There's no group riding involved. It's just who can go the fastest. So basically 1 mile from rolling through the start finish, I attacked, and I got a little bit of a gap, and I held that, and I just kept going it. Two guys, two single speeders behind me that I could identify were bridging, and then I would go again. And we were all really, really close, probably all within like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute. We were all at any given point in time within sight of one another for, 20 miles basically. And finally, in the last crosswind section leading up to the headwind, I got a good gap. And then it was just a matter of taking a right-hander and tucking into the wind and just dealing with it. Well, by this time, it had completely changed. So that nice little 25-mile-an-hour breeze that we had when we started, no, that was gone. I don't know what the wind was, but it was 35, easy, probably 50-mile-an-hour gusts. There were times when I would come across a road where it was really flat and the wind would really flow at you, where I could barely cross the road. I was going 6-7 mile an hour. And again, I'm on a single speed, so I can't get a gear and spin like you guys. I'm just mashing, but I can't stand up to get any more power, because if I stand up, I catch wind and it will just stop me. It was, I've never ridden in straight line wind like that forever. I only probably had a couple of times during that 7 miles where I just really became mentally fatigued and mentally frustrated. I had some really, you kind of go to some dark places, but then it's like you kind of come out of it. And then you just keep going. And I just kept going. And I held true to the etiquette that was laid down when we started. And I had a couple of geared groups go with me and around me, and I pulled some. And I didn't take a pull with them. I easily could have settled in on the back of their group and ridden all the way to the finish with them, and they would have let me. They didn't care. But I didn't do that because that just wasn't what my fellow single speeders did. So I soloed the whole last lap, and luckily I held a small gap between my second and third place competitors. So, and I ended up for the win. But I mean, the takeout was a great event. We had some great coffee. We had some pretty sweet Java Nitro Joes waiting for us at the finish, some cold beers at the finish, some cool ass awards that we got here that were handmade. These are handmade ceramic awards, and it's a great event. I love it, and I definitely recommend that you guys go down there. Conditions are unique in Kansas, and I think that it'd be a good experience for anybody to go down and try it. See if I missed anything. I just been talking, even though I had notes on that. I think I pretty much hit everything. I think we had 200 racers, close to, give or take, 175 to 200. So that's a solid turnout. One of the coolest podium picks that I saw, and I was actually sitting there in the grass when she went up on the podium, and it was the 25-mile winner for one of the junior groups. And I don't know how old this little girl was, and I don't know her name. I mean, someone is probably looking and can post it, but I was amazed. She couldn't have been 8 or 9. I think she weighed all of about 50 pounds. So you know that she was riding a bike that probably weighed 30 pounds. And she rode an entire lap. That means she rode into that same headwind that we rode into. And I know how horrible it was. And for some little itty bitty girl that was that small with that heavy of a bike, I was, I mean, you just kind of like, you know, I'm not worthy. You really are. You know, you think you've done this good ride, and then you see some little girl like that go up there and just smash it. And it is pretty amazing. So that was awesome. All righty, let's go back up, see who I've missed here. Scott Stinson joined. Welcome, Scott. Gunner Wrights in the house. Chris Call. What's happening, Chris? Steven Treester. Hey, Steven, I was talking about you a minute ago. Some of your off-camera boys checked in, Jason and Chris, and I was telling them that they need to give you some love next time they're at the race, because you've been the only off-camera guy there. So, Hunter Farrington. Barry David's in the house. What's happening, Barry David? Okay. Let's see. Well. Where does that leave us? That leaves us with Mid-South. So, holy shit. That's about all I can say right now. Mid-South is looking to be epic. You can take epic how you like it. That could be good. That could be bad. That could be indifferent. Team Winebox in the house. But unless things change significantly, it is going to be an unbelievable little event. I mean, Facebook has been blowing up all day and all day yesterday. I mean, today was the really big day, and then tomorrow will be even worse. Everybody's trying to decide what tire size they're going to run, what pressure they're going to run. You know, a lot of people are bailing on the geared bikes and going to go get their single speed ready. Everybody's talking about how bad the mud's going to be, or if it's going to be muddy, what they're going to wear. Are they going to wear rain jackets? And so, you know, to each his own. And John Sears says, Abby is 8 and she crushed it for 25 miles. 8. That was amazing, Josh. That was so amazing. I hope you interviewed her. I didn't go look at all the videos. I haven't had a chance yet, but I would love to hear what she had to say. So I jumped right out of Mid-South and I went back to a comment my friend Josh from Kansas posted on the previous comment when I was talking about the young lady that did the Cheney gravel race in Kansas, Rage Against Chainring. She was 8. She crushed a 25-mile ride and she nailed a 25-mile-an-hour headwind. That is awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. So I don't even know what to say about Mid-South at this point. I've done so many of them, and I've broken my bike and crashed. I've walked with clown shoes in the mud for miles. I've ridden it fast and dry. Apologize. Sorry. I've climbed hills. I've gotten blown out on the flats in the tailwind. I've dropped bottles in ditches. I've done everything that this event's thrown at me, and I suspect this weekend is going to be another one of those unknowns. We don't know what it's going to throw at us. So right now, unless the forecast changes, it's looking to be pretty catastrophic. It is. I mean, who knows? I mean, things could turn around. You never know. But I don't know the roads well enough. And in hindsight, I didn't really pay attention to the texture of them last year. We will be doing the same courses last year. There are tons of places from last year that I remember that are going to be fine, wet or not. But there are also plenty of places that I know that are not going to be fine because they're very clay-based, red dirt-based. Anything that's sand-based or gravel-based, really like chat gravel, is all going to be fine. But there's a ton of B stuff, and you saw some of the videos. The thing is, those are just going to be walking sections. So, I mean, the mentality is just, I don't know, you just have to be prepared for it. Don't expect the worst, and then if the worst happens, it's not a big deal. So I don't know, just a story that I tell, and I try to get this to all the people that are doing it, especially people that are doing it for the first time. You know, I'm a little different, obviously, than the normal rider. I mean, it just is what it is. But at the same time, I still think that a lot of the points that I think hold true to everybody. And one of those points is relating the story. And so I can't remember what year it was. It was many, many years ago. It was 4, 5, 6 years ago. And it was a muddy race. It was raining up until the morning of the race. It didn't rain on us during the race that much, but it rained the day before, and it was going to be muddy. And we knew that we had at least 2 sections that were clay sections that were mile and a half long sections where it was going to be next to impossible to ride. We knew that. We knew that going in. I mean, that was not an unknown. It was not a question mark. I mean, we knew that. And I knew that. So I was prepared for that. So it's like, we get to that section and I jump off the bike and, I rig my shoulder and my, how I'm holding my bike and I get it going and I'm just walking and we're clomping in the mud and we're getting clown feet because the mud's building up, and pretty soon the mud glop on the bottom of your cleat is, it's like a foot long, and your foot's only like this wide at the mud deal, and you kick it and fling the mud and get, to kind of get the weight off. But legit looks like clown shoes. And we're doing this for a mile or more. And I'm just trotting along and I'm just talking to the people next to me. I'm smiling, having a good time. I'm like, hey, what do you think? How's your day? And you get all these people and they're like, this sucks. This is terrible. I can't believe this. This is, yeah. They're just like all negative. And man, I'm like, what good does that do? What good does that do? You knew that this was going to happen. We knew this before the race. So they're out there for some reason thinking that it's not going to happen. And now they're mad that they're walking in the mud. And I'm just happy. I'm fine. I was like, we're all walking at the same pace. We might as well talk and have a good time and chat. And so now I found people that were like me, and I just chatted with them. I can remember walking with Troy Cowan for probably 20 minutes one day during that race. And we're just chatting it up because what else are we going to do? We're walking with our bikes, and getting angry or getting upset is not going to fix anything. And so the whole point of that story is that it's all mindset. If you let things like that, you got to go into a race like this knowing that in a worst case scenario, things are going to happen like this. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. And if you think it's not going to get that way and then it happens, it's frustrating. But if you're prepared for it mentally, the physical part's easy. You get off your bike and you walk. You figure out a way to carry your bike. That's difficult. You clean your bike. You have the spatula or whatever you carry to clean your bike. And then you just let go, and then you chat with your friends, and you get dirty, and you have clown shoes, and you run your kit because of the red dirt. And I get dirt in my beard and my mustache and my helmet and my gloves, and who the hell cares? Because we're all in the same boat. And that's the whole point. Why be upset about that? Just roll with it, enjoy the moment, and then just move forward. And then you'll be back on your bike, riding your bike before too long. So a lot of that is just the mentality part of it that I think a lot of people are not prepared for. And you have to be prepared for it. So I'm gonna check back up, and then I'll finish up with that subject here shortly. So I missed a little bit here. John Sears joined. Herb Brown says, let's see. Hey, well, Herb, I don't know who did it. I think KO. So Herb Brown just posted Gallon Culver from KO4 talked to him today. Anyway, he's talking about wanting to put a piece together for This Is a Great State or What, and for sure. All you have to do is look. I just saw a video today. Bobby did a piece with one of the news stations earlier today, this week, and it was released today. So Herb, you definitely need to hook him up with Bobby, and I guarantee Bobby will be out there. So Michael Carmen, Chad Ben Hosen, Robert Watson, Roy Peterson, Robert Ferris. Roy says, hey, planning our race now. For sure, Rory. And we're getting close to giving you guys some love out at Claremore, so it won't be long. Robert Ferris, thank you. Robert says, totally sweet stuff. James Daniel joined. What's happening, James Daniel? Carolyn Farrell says, Mid-South version of the Serenity Prayer. So let's just see. I'm gonna see what else I got. I just been one off on that. I've been winging a lot of this, guys. I'm sorry. I did actually take notes, but obviously, for any of you that watch my shows, you realize that I tend to wing things a little bit, just a wee bit. So, I'm looking for the new beer that they have. So I think I'm going up Thursday. I'm going to go hang out with Jay Black and Cordis and my friends from Bike Lab and Orange Sill and then depends on how the weather holds. I may try to get out on the course and go see if I can see some of my friends doing the double, the 50. So That might be kind of fun. Let's see. They did say there were going to be a few course modifications, not many. It's same basic courses from last year. I guess there's some. I guess the biggest modification for the 100 miler is in Perkins at the halfway point, and I guess they've blocked off like one of the main roads completely. So we're going to have the whole road. I don't exactly know what that means, but I'm just going to follow the arrows and the map and go for it. But it's pretty. Apparently, it's a pretty big deal. They're shutting off the highway, routing people around, letting us have the whole thing with no car traffic. So, and there may be some other minor ones. I just honestly, I'm not one of those that like just joneses on a map. I know the general vicinity. I follow the map. I follow the markings. I just go for it. I just ride whatever they throw at me. I don't worry about it too much. There has been some concern about there not being multiple support stops and only being a neutral support scratch at the halfway point. But honestly, it's going to be fine. This is not a hot weather race. You guys don't need stuff. You really don't. I mean, I do anything between 60 and 80 completely self-supported with nothing, with no need for outside support. So doing 100, even if you have a support crew at the halfway point to refill a couple of bottles and let you dump some trash and grab some more goos and gels and stuff like that, you'll be fine. I'm going to carry all my food for the whole thing. I won't need any food at the halfway point. I probably won't even have a crew at the halfway point. I'll do a frame bag with water and maybe if worst case scenario, if I'm getting super low, I'll actually stop and refill my water bottles at the scratch halfway point. I mean, I hope I don't have to do that. My goal is to not stop at all. But I mean, it's a 100-mile race. I know it's a big deal. I know the conditions going to be crazy, but reality of it is, it's super easy to carry everything you need. It really is. I do it all the time, so you guys can do it too. Paint stick, spatula. I'm not a fan of the paint stick. I know they give that paint stick and it's a cool souvenir, but I don't like the paint stick. It's too wide to fit in certain places and it's too flat to like really poke stuff out. So I actually get like a super teeny tiny spatula that's like the size of 2 fingers. And it's just like the width of like my finger. You can probably find someone at one cheap at Dollar General, and I like that because you can use it to poke. It's got the width to poke stuff out between your tire where the rear triangle goes and the front brakes and fork area, but it's also narrow enough to get in there. So anyway, that's just my go-to. I've got it in my bag over here. I was going to actually have it out and show you guys, but I forgot to get it. So let's see. Definitely be able to bring everything that you need to fix a broken chain because it's going to happen probably if it's muddy. It's part of the gig. I'm contemplating a whole new chain because I'm single speed, so it's hard to get the right length. So I'm contemplating just bringing another chain that's the same length that I can just throw on and call it a day. I'm not very good at fixing stuff in the fly, so a lot of that depends on your skills. I'm not very good at that, but I'm riding single speed, so hopefully I won't have to do too much. One thing I am going to consider, and I'm going to play that out tomorrow, is if the conditions continue to be as expected, there's going to be some walking sections, and if you're walking for an extended period of time, it's really hard to carry your bike. I also have a frame bag, which means I can't get my arm under it, so I'm going to have to carry it front, or it's weird. So I'm actually going to rig something that I rigged, like I said, 5 or 6 years ago. I had a little bungee that was attached to my shoulder strap of my backpack, and I don't know that I'm going to have that this time, but I'll rig something else up with a bungee or like a little tie down. And I was able to like put my bike in front of me, and I wrapped it around the top tube and then just draped it there, and then I could grab the down tube and hold the down tube for stability, but the weight of the bike was carried by my backpack and my shoulders and bungee. So it was much easier to walk. It was much more comfortable walking. It was much less stressful. It didn't bruise my shoulder up. It didn't hurt my back. It didn't hurt my arm. So anyway, definitely contemplate something like that if it looks like we're going to be walking a lot. So just throwing that out there. Jake Shockley, Brandon Bowen, Darren Mora, James Daniel. James rode his bike trike tonight with his walk aid and did it better than last year. He misses his mountain bike. Yeah, that's awesome. I saw that post that you made on James's page. That's pretty stoked. He was out there riding his tri bike or his trike bike. Looked like there were several of them, so that was pretty awesome. I'm stoked that James is getting back out and about. So look forward to seeing him next time. So Mike Gillen's in the house. What's happening, Mike? Hey, sorry we missed you up at the that gravel race up in Kellyville. Just couldn't get down there for that weekend. Jody Harrison, Jerry Puckett, Micah Gordon. Hey, good to see him this weekend, Micah. And damn good race, by the way. All righty, I'm winding down. If you guys have any Q&A, questions, thoughts, comments, things you want me to talk about, you better start thinking about it and tossing them out because I'm going to be winding it down pretty soon. Let me check over and make sure I haven't missed anything. No comments on YouTube, so I'm good to go. Let's see if I've missed anything here. Grab the reading glasses here. Yeah. No, I mean, I think I covered all my points, especially with land run. Sorry, Mid-South. I'll be making that mistake for probably another year, but that's okay. We all get it. I'm not too concerned about it. It's the same awesome race, same awesome people, just slightly different name. But Mid-South it is. So I will see you guys there this weekend, rain or shine. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be rain right now. So it's all good. So I told somebody earlier, that's the thing. It was, conditions like this can make people, it can break people, or it can also just create an adventure that will go down in history for that person. So that's the kind of event that we're looking at this weekend. I hear people all the time. It's like, oh, well, I'm not going. I don't want to break my bike, or I don't want to tear my. I'm just like, I get it. I understand it, sort of. No, I really don't. I mean, we're in this business to race bikes. Weather plays a factor. Occasionally, I will bail on something just because it's just so bad. But the people that will not go race their bikes because they're afraid of tearing their bikes up, I just don't understand. That's why you bought the bike. It's a gravel bike. It's a mountain bike. Doesn't mean rewrite it in pristine conditions 24/7. It means it might be muddy. It means you might break your bike. It means you might get in the mud. You might ruin your brake pads. You might ruin your drive train. You might break a chain. You might break a derailleur. I won't because I don't have one, but I very likely will break a chain. I mean, that's part of it. If you're going to skip an epic event just because you're afraid of tearing up your bike, I'm honestly not sure what to say because I don't want to be mean, but you need to step it up. Ride your damn bike. Quit being a puss. Just do it. I mean, you spent the money on a $5,000 bike. It's not going to cost that much to fix it. Get over it. Go ride the damn thing. Okay, stepping off my soapbox now. I apologize for that. It happens every now and then. Micah Gordon says, "Damn, that win was brutal." Michael raced this weekend with me at Cheney, except he raced in the A group and was on the podium, number 2 spot. So or 3. I don't know. You're on the podium one way or the other. That was a badass race. So he was killing it, and he is definitely right. Mark Wells says, "Speaking of breaking your bike, did you get a new frame?" Mark, I'm still working that out. They have approved my warranty, and now we're trying to decide what bike they're going to give me. So I talked to the shop today, and there's the possibility of a carbon frame, but that's a problem with me, as I'm really hard on stuff. I don't know if I could do a carbon frame. So anyway, so I'm working with Bike Labs. Jeremy Collins is doing all the legwork for me with Specialized. So as of now, I do not have a mountain bike. No, I have an old 2012 Sur 9 rigid single speed, which I may be it's hanging in my back closet, and that may very well be what I ride at Sooner Stampede if I can't get this bike fixed and back in time. So yeah. So the next couple 3 weeks are going to be interesting mountain bike wise for me. So we'll see what happens. So Micah says second. Yeah, that's what I thought. You sprinted for second. That's what I thought. I knew it was something like that. I can't imagine a sprint after all of that. That was badass. So you guys are awesome, because you guys' times were like 15 minutes faster than my time, and I had a solid time. That was crazy. You guys killed it. So, alrighty, I'm gonna finish up with one last little tidbit. And like I said, if you guys have questions, comments, throw it out there, and I'll hit the topics as I close. But 2 things. I start spring break after tomorrow. It's going to last through the week and then all next week. And then I have a week off. And then I have a regular week of the Wizard Update here. And then we move into Medicine Park in April. So I'm going to do 2 remote sites over the next month. So I think that's going to be super fun. I'm trying to do that more and more. It's just really hard because, like a lot of you guys know, I live way out here in Southwest Oklahoma. So it's hard for me to get to Metro Oklahoma City, Tulsa, things like that during the week for my show, unless I'm on break or something of that nature. And luckily, that plays out right now. So I'm going to be able to do that on March the 18th. Now this is going to be a little different because March the 18th is next week, but that's on a Wednesday. It's not going to be on a Tuesday. So I'm going to actually go Wednesday instead of Tuesday. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to do it live from Lazy Circle Brewing. That's the main sponsor for Team Warm Up. Team Warm Up sponsors our Sooner Stampede, Tour de Dirt mountain bike race. And those guys are awesome. But the problem is that my normal date, Tuesday, is St. Patrick's Day. And we just decided that's probably not a good time to try to do a broadcast from a brewery on St. Patty's Day, because it's going to be loud and crazy and obnoxious, and you're not going to be able to hear anything. So we're going to try to go the next day on Wednesday. So we'll move it to Wednesday, which is still close. And we'll go from Lazy Circles Brewing. Again, I can't wait to get some of that porter that they have again. That was the most delicious beer that I've had in a really long time. And we're going to go live, talk to all the Team Warm Up crew, and we're going to talk all Sooner Stampede and just whatever. And it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. No doubt we're going to get a little out of control. It tends to happen when I do remote sites, and that's going to be the fun part. And then I'm going to have a week back at home. And then the following week, I'm going to go out on March the 31st, because that's the week before Fool's Dozen at Medicine Park. Again, the next Tour de Dirt race, which is going to be on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's a full weekend of stuff, which we'll talk more about that as it comes up. But I'm going to go live from Terry's Bicycles in Lawton, base camp. The whole crew's going to be there. We're going to be having a good time and talking everything that is Fool's Dozen and Fool's Fest, because they have a whole weekend planned. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm already planning my costume for Friday night. I'm just saying, I'm working on it. I don't have it completely prepared yet, but I'm close. So I'm ready for Friday night. I'm going to do all the Saturday events, although probably poorly, and then I'm going to try to race on Sunday too. So I'm looking for the whole. I'm looking for doing the whole thing. I don't know how I'm going to do like the axe handle thing, because it's like I can't do that at all. Like maybe they'll let me do something that the kids do instead. I don't know. We'll see how that works. But anyway, that's going to be Tuesday, back to Tuesday, March the 31st from Terry's. So those are my remote sites. So it's going to be awesome. So. GT says might have to show up Wednesday at Lazy Circle. Hey, do it. It's a great time. I haven't been there, but all I know is they got some good brews, so I'm super stoked. So, Ryan Columbus, he's already got his costume too. Dang, I'm gonna have to get on track. I've got the links. I've got to order a couple of things from Amazon. And then my girlfriend Amy has she's got some makeup she's going to do for my beard and stuff like that. So we'll see how that plays out. And then hopefully Jeremy Coleman's working on something for me, a little something. Jeremy Coleman from Basecamp is supposed to be working on like a wizard staff for me. So I'm gonna have a staff, I hope, soon. So Keith Howery joined. Keith, you joined late, brother, but you can watch the replay. We'll be here for a few, but I think that's pretty much it. Let me go out to YouTube and check and see if I've missed anything. No comments, so my buddy Brandito did not check in at YouTube. That's okay. Micah Gordon says he puked right after the finish. Oh man, I'll bet, brother. Dude, that was baller. That was a crazy finish. I mean, 7 miles ahead win, and then to end up having to sprint to a finish, like that's brutal. Cheers, Keith. What's happening? All righty. I'm coughing and 1 hour and 7 minutes in, and I'm going to scroll up and just make sure I haven't totally missed anything. I don't think I've missed anything. I think you guys have been pretty solid. So, all righty. That's it. I think I'm going to get out. So, thanks for joining. I will see you guys this weekend at Mid-South. If not, I will see you next weekend at Center Stampede. And if not, I'll see you next weekend at OC. If not, I'll see you next weekend in Fool's Dozen. Yeah, you know how that goes. So anyway, peace out. Check you guys later.